Okay, so hello everyone, welcome back to Market Vision. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm obviously today joined by Yikes and Mike, where we will be talking about some very interesting topics. Obviously, Mike is very good at intros, so I will bring it right over to him if you want to intro us into the show.
Good morning, everybody. Market Vision is back. It's been a couple of months since we did the last one of these, and when you need us, we come calling. We are here to try and make you feel a lot better about what's going on in the markets right now. And we've got some different topics to talk about today. And we're joined by a very special guest who is Yikes. Yikes has joined us for Market Vision. He was here a few months ago. I'll pass you.
It's fine. This is normal. He lags sometimes. Just wait for him.
Culture is dead.
You're back now. You're back now. Lagging. Occasionally, but you're back now.
Okay. We're going to talk about current market conditions. We're then going to talk about Trump and did he end the 4-year cycle? And then we're going to talk about some charts with the Oracle, the man himself, where everything floats around his head while he talks about crypto. Yeah. And then we're going to pick 3 coins each. So the Alpha is with us today. Yikes, the Oracle, and myself are going to pick 3 coins to go through, and that will be your show. Now, Yikes, would you like to introduce yourself to everybody?
Yes. Most of the people know like who I am, what I'm doing. But the plan for today is great. And finally, we are back. We're back to this, can I call it show?
Yeah.
This show.
Yeah. The very special show.
Yeah, the special show. And I hope we'll do it more often. Because last time was like a very long time ago.
Yeah.
I think we can check a couple of questions from the chat. We can answer questions from the chat. So guys, you feel free to ask whatever you want related to the topics we're discussing. And I also think that's pretty interesting thing to discuss today is Aster. Aster
Yes.
in general, like what is going on with this token, and we can compare to Hyperliquid.
Yep, that's a good shout. That may or may not be one of my coins, though. Yikes! I just want to point that out to you. That I may have Aster in my top 3 picks, but we'll have to find out if people watch to the end.
Sure.
Okay, so we can add Aster into the equation. Oracle, what charts are you going to be looking at today? Any charts in particular, or are you going to look at the charts as they come through in chat?
So the main plan is going to be just Bitcoin and talking about Bitcoin as a whole, especially on the hard time frames. But if people want me to look at another chart, in chat, and it's something which everyone wants, then yeah, I can do another one near the end of the stream or whenever we can do it.
Okay, I think we probably should look at the Aster chart as well. Maybe that would be my recommendation. So should we get into the show? Are there anybody want to do any shout outs to anybody in chat? We are joined by the Bear, by the way. Villain Bear is here. The Goat is here, as well as Danny and a few others. So welcome. Anybody on your end, Yikes, that you want to give a shout out to before we start?
I like the comment. There was this someone who joined from the beginning, from when we just started, say 3 hot boys. That's what I just noticed. I like it.
Brilliant. Well, you know how they get a really hot weather woman. Maybe we're just eye candy to everybody. Maybe they don't even listen to us.
Yeah. I'm the housewife's choice. I don't really count. So you guys are the eye candy. No, it's not called that nowadays, isn't it? Is it called the female gaze? Isn't that the term for it nowadays?
I don't even know. I don't know.
I think so. Should we get into it? Because I think
absolutely, yeah. I mean, you're the leader. You get us into it. You get us out to it. I remember last time, we were talking. I was like, we are off topic. I pulled us out of the conversation, moved on to the next one. So you take us away. All right, you bring us where we need to go. Okay. The light at the end of the tunnel.
So we're gonna be talking about meme coins and the death of meme coins. And I do think in the market there's been a massive decline in meme coins. Maybe it's to do with pump.fun, maybe it's to do with the hype cycle, maybe it's to do with narratives. But as a general, do you think the culture of meme coins is dead? And we're going to start that question with Yikes.
In general, I would say yes, and I would say the meme coins would kill most of the altcoins and just destroyed altcoin season, I would say, in my opinion, especially those pump fun memes, worthless, that people just ragging. In my opinion, memes are the bad thing. It's something what's destroying the Web3 in general. It's like a cancer of Web3. It's called like this.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. What do you think about Monad? Is he called Monad or Monad? He's the guy who's held his meme coin portfolio, and I think he's held it all the way down. I think he's down about 66% on his portfolio. Have you seen that?
Not really. Murat, yeah.
So Monad,
yeah,
I think, is the one.
Monad is the chain. Yeah, Murad has held his entire portfolio all the way down from, I think, 66 million dollars I think he had, and it's down to maybe 25 million dollars. I mean, you've got to give him dues and you've got to give him credit. He didn't sell when he probably could have sold and made an awful lot more money.
If you're talking about Murat, he's like absolute degen, and he spent. I mean, the most of his portfolio is SPX, right? This guy. He was from the beginning supporting SPX. He was all the time pushing the SPX, and I believe, I'm not sure how to react to this. I mean, he could possibly sell when it was $1.5, but he'll get a lot of hate because of it. He'll dump the chart very hard. I don't know what to say about this. Is it good? I mean, for him, it's definitely bad, but for the community, for the SPX community, I mean, he did a good job. He didn't sell, he didn't panic.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, 60 million, $20 million, they're both very large numbers. I'm sure he'll have a very comfortable life living off $20 million, I suppose. So Oracle, what do you
Yep.
think? Do you think meme season is dead? When do you think it died? What do you think the reasons were that meme season and meme culture has died?
Sure. Yeah, I think there's multiple things here. So firstly, yes, I think it's pretty much over. I mean, I don't think it can't have some sort of tight community. I don't think it's gonna be wiped off the face of the earth and nothing's ever gonna exist. However, I don't think it's gonna be at any capacity it ever was. In terms of, I've got a few points, so maybe probably about three. First one, as Yikes rightly mentioned, in terms of the community is very toxic. Obviously, as of late anyway, there's been very get rich quick schemey type of websites or people kind of entering into the meme coin kind of space and just poisoning it. And that, firstly, obviously, is just not going to help anybody. My main points, though, are going to be, looking at how the normal cycle works in terms of going from Bitcoin, top alts, meme coins. And we haven't really seen that this time. I mean, we did see slight pumps, but even across the board, kind of, apart from the main coins, we haven't really seen much go into some of the smaller alts in these massive rips we should have expected, let's say, in some of our all-time highs. I think ETFs are the main kind of route, in my opinion, for this. In terms of the volume comparison, which people, the perspective of pump between what was held in the top coins versus what could be brought down all the way to meme coins. I think ETFs, they hold a lot of value in the top coins, and these guys aren't going to be buying meme coins. So the retail volume, as opposed to the entire market's volume, is probably a lot smaller. So I don't think we're ever going to really see these massive rips we've seen before when we've seen massive, certainly like Pepe, let's say, all that time ago, in the period where money transfers from the top coins to meme coins. I don't really think we're going to see that. So all those reasons kind of paired up between how toxic it is for the whole community and the fact there's not really much money going into it in the first place. I don't think we're really going to see meme coins ever really live to any sort of extent.
Well, you know what? You're both you're both very, very depressed when it comes to meme coins. I'll say that. Now, I've got 1 point to make because Yikes covered off a lot of it, and you've just pretty much finished it off. The only point I'd mention is Cookie and Kaito, and obviously they are mindshare tracking programs. They kind of popped up in the last year, and what they did for me was they took calls or influencers or streamers or whatever you want to call them. I think that grabbed a lot of their attention.
Yep.
And in grabbing the attention of the people who talk about coins all the time, they were getting rewarded for talking about very specific projects. We got paid a couple of times from Mantra for making some Mantra content. And I just think that it's not so much that I think there's just no eyes on meme coins anymore, because now calls can be paid for talking about real projects through Cookie.fun and through Kaito. Not Cookie, it's Cookie.fun, isn't it? Yeah, and Kaito. So they'd be the only 2 points I would ask, but I'm totally in agreement with the pair of you that meme coins are a cancer. Yikes is right. Pump.fun launched Mayhem. I don't know if you've heard of this. They launched Mayhem last week, which is where they double the number of tokens in circulating supply for one of these coins. And then AI trades those coins to try and pump liquidity and pump excitement into those coins. And I just think it's like flogging a dead horse at the minute. I think that's finished. Okay, so we'll move on then, now that we've set the depressing tone.
Yeah,
just one more thing.
Yeah.
I want to ask, what do you think about altcoin season? Because I was thinking, I also saw Murad said that meme coins, like these pump fun memes and just memes in general, just destroy the altcoin season. It's not going to happen because of it.
What do you think, Brogan? Or Oracle, should I say?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think it's the same topic in with the ETFs. I said in the little blurb there, it was not only do I believe the volume disparity between retail moving towards lower and lower cap coins or lower and lower interest coins and ETFs holding the main value. There's not really apart from, and we can kind of see this right now, in terms of what we've expected as the high of Bitcoin 126, whatever it was exactly. Obviously, it was coming down 95k again. Obviously, we've been talking about this on my streams, not to say anything. And we haven't really seen massive pumps for things. We've seen quick run-ups and then fall all the way back down. So we've not really seen long moves which have had longevity to them. So I really don't think whether it be what I say on a theoretical versus even what's happening right now or what's already happened with coins, we've not really seen much move up in anything. So I can agree on the fact that altcoin season hasn't really started, and I don't really think it will continue. It got a little kick. It started, but it's not gone anywhere. So I really don't think it's going to happen.
I'll add one more point to that, and that is that whenever we talk about altcoins on Crypto Warehouse, the one thing we always talk about is whether that project has a kind of verifiable revenue stream. Does it make money? Number one. Does it make a profit? Number two. And does it add value? Number three. And if any of those things are missing, then it's just a dead project. And I think the men in suits have come along with ETFs, obviously. And if you are looking at the projects which are getting ETF applications and approvals, that is alt season. Alt season is the hand picking of Web3 projects by the men in suits who believe these projects are going to go on and be a success. And if you want a specific list of all of the projects that men in suits are going to come after, Grayscale publishes a list or a watch list of coins, which it will then probably turn into trusts. So if you want to get a head start on ETFs, you want to go and look at the Grayscale token watch list. And on there, you're going to find, and nearly every single project that's listed on Grayscale's watch list has a profit mechanism, as in it makes profits, it has turnover, it has monetization. And I think alt season from 2021 just doesn't exist. And I think alt season 2025 is all about projects that make money. And that, I think, is why we've not seen an alt season, apart from the fact that the cycle is just so much different than it has been. It's just a little bit of a different cycle, in my opinion. Yep. What do you think, Yikes?
Yeah, absolutely agree. In my opinion, I don't believe in altcoin season like in the near future. Like, let's say, I mean, definitely this year, next year, most likely not going to happen. I was thinking that if you want to invest at the moment, you want to get some profit, you're not going to see like it was before. Like, you're not going to get like 10x from some token, 15, 20x. No, not going to happen. Like 2x is the maximum. But if you want something safe, like safe investments, that would be Bitcoin, some BNB, Ethereum, and this is it.
Yeah. Don't give away your coins though, because we want your coins at the end of the show.
There'll be different coins.
Right then,
it's just a safe investment.
Current market conditions. We're going to be talking about basically government shutdown, finishing, rate cuts. The rate cuts especially are important to talk about because now we've gone from 90% sure of a rate cut to maybe 50% sure of a rate cut. We want to talk about the fact that the government shutdown is finished. How much of a delay is there going to be between the shutdown and the liquidity coming into the market? We're going to talk about the fact that we're technically at the end of the cycle, but nothing is moving. In fact, we've come down to 96,000. And then while all of this is going on, the institutions, the treasuries and ETFs are still buying. And it's okay to say we've got outflows. For every 7 or 8 days of inflows, we've always had 3 or 4 days of outflows. So I wouldn't say that was the reason. So we'll start with the Oracle this time. So in a nutshell, how have we arrived at a $96,000 Bitcoin?
Okay, so I'm going to talk about this in a bit more detail when we go on to the Bitcoin chart later on. I think this was a fundamental move we need to do. This is a very similar move, which I'm going to point out when we look at the charts, a very similar move we've done previously. And I think this was a requirement for the market. I think we need to do this. I think obviously going into the next topic being the end of the 4-year cycle, I will say yes to that. I'm not going to talk about it right now because we're not in the right topic. But I think in terms of the cycle of what people expect, I think there's always a balance between people just looking at the news and trading based on the news and people just looking at the chart and trading based on the chart. I think sometimes people look at the news too much and externalize their opinions, whether it be, oh, well, there has to be a 4-year cycle. This has to take 300 days. This has to take 1,000 days, whatever it may be. But then obviously some people always just look at the charts. And I think if you really just, in this case anyway, if you really just looked at the chart, obviously I know it's not financial advice and it's opinion, you would see we had to have done this anyway. And obviously I know there's a lot of negative people. And I think what's happened so far hasn't helped. And I think there's been a lot of singularity event buying or sell scenarios. I'm going to talk about that in the Trump scenario as well. I think there's been a lot of things which have occurred, which have caused these massive events to have happened, which haven't really helped the market as a whole in terms of going anywhere high. Obviously, we have seen new all-time highs, which it makes sense. So we're perfectly fine in that regard. I think we have been negative overall. Again, there's been a lot of, I think, fear more so. There's been a lot of variability when it comes to economics, especially in America as a whole so far. I think there's a lot of things which people aren't really sure about or are confused about. And people are saying one thing and doing another. And it's fear. And anytime fear gets introduced, it never helps when you want to go up. So I think I don't think this is a rare move. I don't think this is random. I think this makes sense.
Okay. So we'll come back to you when we look at the charts. Yikes! How have we got here? Yikes! What hopium or copium have you got for the viewers?
I just want to ask because I haven't seen much news, to be honest, about the market, about the Bitcoin, but suddenly just dumped kind of hard. And I want to ask what happened. Do you guys know? Is that because of some news or because of large sale volumes for, I don't know, for no reason?
I mean, there aren't that many coincidences in the world, and we kind of dumped straight after the government in America reopened, and that probably caused a cascading effect. We've then had the CPI data and the inflation data. That's probably never going to come out. So that's caused markets like surety, and they want confidence, and they want confidence in what's going on. They don't want to invest in companies or buy shares in companies that they don't know what the turnover and profits are going to be in 12 months' time. So when we don't have certain key important numbers, such as inflation data, that then throws shadow over a rate cut, the Fed cutting rates again. And that was 90%. Now it's down to about 50%. So that's caused the market to basically react in what I would say is a very negative way. Now is a good time for that to happen, by the way, because we're going to see hundreds of billions of dollars flow into the American economy. So this is kind of like the calm before the storm, if you like. And I think
Bit of lag, but hopefully she'll be back. Give it a second. It'll subside, hopefully.
S&P comes down. Sorry?
You lagged a bit. There's a bit of what you said we missed.
Sorry, I was saying the stock markets across the world, and especially in America, they also came down on Thursday. So this isn't a crypto-specific movement that we're seeing right now. This isn't just about Bitcoin. It isn't just about crypto. This is about the health of the American economy. That's kind of where we are right now. So I would say it's basically a macro event that's caused this to happen. What do you think, Oracle? Is that close to the mark of what you would say?
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously I am a chart person more so than an external, quote unquote, person, if you will. Again, obviously, I'm commonly looking at market calendars just to make sure I'm aware of data coming out. But as a whole, I normally just look at the chart and base my opinion just based on the chart. And I have been wanting us to come down towards these areas for quite a while now. Obviously, give or take a few all-time highs in between. But obviously, when you're looking at the weekly, it's something when you don't want to bank on a reversal. When you're at all-time highs, you're continuously moving up in an uptrend. You don't want to bank on a reversal. You want to continue to hold on to this bullish narrative of, okay, we keep on doing all-time highs until proven otherwise. And obviously, I believe we've had our proven otherwise, and I believe we have finally started this move down. And I think this is a fundamental move, and I think this is something we need to do for long-term success on Bitcoin. So I mean, okay. Yeah, I agree. Though I think you can't deny the fact that external things affect the market. Things economically, will affect how the price reacts, whether that be on a fundamental basis or on a people's emotion basis. Either way, it will affect the market. So yeah, I can completely agree. Where on the outside of the charts, there are plentiful reasons why we have done what we've done.
Okay,
But don't you think it's too much?
No.
No, but usually market reacting for any news, any like rates data, like slightly like 1%, 2% just moving up or down. But this time we've seen this movement. I think Ethereum was moved like 10% in one day. Yeah, 10% down.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
It's too much in my opinion.
I know what you mean. I think this is a good thing though. I think if we have, I talk about this on my streams a lot in terms of if you have a very rapid move down or a move upwards, it's very likely that you want to like have a big retracement in this move. And I think I'm basing my majority of my opinion not really based on the news, but based on what I have on the charts. And this is a really high time frame thing we are doing. This is a high basis, so the news is helping speed this up, I suppose. But I think trade positions and where people have if they're longing or shorting. Obviously, we had the Trump scenario where everyone just got liquidated. That is just not going to help the market. So if everyone's really positive and everyone's being told that it's going to go back upwards, something bad happens, people start to get liquidated, and it ripped through the floor. Either people are being misinformed somewhere, people are idiots, or something's going on. I don't know what's going on. Obviously, not to claim on idiots. Obviously, people have their opinions, but something's going on somewhere where if on a basis people are getting liquidated, which we are seeing, people are all longing and then they're getting liquidated. So clearly, there's a cause and effect here. So I think the news is only really a catalyst to start the move. But I think, again, like I said, I'm going to reiterate the same point. My opinion's based on the charts, and I think we need to do this. So we will obviously look at it in a bit, but I don't think it's too much.
Got it. Thank you so much for the explanation.
No. I'm gonna tell you one thing, Yikes, before we get onto the next topic. I put a tweet out with 3 targets for Bitcoin. So when you said it's a bit much, I looked at the different types of retracement from the all-time high based on what potentially we've done in previous corrections to the downside. So 20%, 25%, and 30%. And the 30% retracement, which is probably as deep as we could go, is about $88,000. And $88,000 is about the price we fought getting into at the start of 2025. So where we are right now, we're sitting above the 25% retracement level. And if we look at other retracements we've had in recent times, that if you go back to Trump Liberation Day, that was also a similar correction to the downside. So it looks and feels worse right now than it will do in 3 or 4 weeks' time. That's what I would say when the liquidity comes back in.
I made a post a couple of days ago. Bitcoin 134K or 88K.
Yeah.
Just with some.
There you go. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I
Do you believe in 88,000?
I had 100.
So Mike, if you wanna, you can carry on.
Yeah. No, I was going to say I believe in 88,000, and I think the Oracle will look at it probably when we get to the charts. But I think you've got something like 89,000.
Yeah. I've got obviously I don't want to bring it up right now because we'll go on to it. I think my minimum. Okay, so I had a very shaky minimum at 98, but that I never believed that in the slightest. It's minimum 90k. Going towards 88k, yeah, that $2,000 range, absolutely. That was being my target for a long time now. So yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah. And what is the highest point like?
It's about 91-ish k, 90,800. But I really
not the lowest.
Oh, you
highest.
mean like on our all-time high? Yeah, I think again it's predicting something we have no price action in. You only have to go based on speculation. So I actually haven't looked. To be fair, it could be around. I know some people pay 140Ks. I haven't actually looked personally. I don't know why. I should probably look. Yeah, I can see 140K. I have some values. I need to go back and look, to be fair.
God, it's waiting for it.
Yeah, I've got 140 to 150.
Yeah. Okay.
So, right, let's see what's... So did we ask Yikes what he thought. Well, you obviously you kind of have covered that off with what you were saying. Now, how far through the stream are we? Because I want to make sure that we don't absolutely drag behind. So we're halfway through, right?
Yeah.
I want to say thank
Yeah.
you for
All right,
$1 tip, Itachi. Guys, thank you so much for the support, for everything.
Yeah, people on YouTube, yeah,
Right
there's a
then.
button somewhere you
We're
can
gonna
donate
talk
as well.
There is
Do you have the nation
a
on
Trump
YouTube?
question.
Yeah, we do, yeah. I think we do now.
Yeah, we do. But we never ask for donations on YouTube
No.
because I think it's just absolutely impossible for people to do it. And most countries that watch us, they don't have the ability to tip.
No.
I actually
Right.
had
Who wants to answer the Trump question?
Trump
Go on,
question.
sorry, Yikes, go on.
Trump question. No, all good.
Okay.
Trump question.
Right.
Something interesting.
The Trump question is, I'm going to ask Yikes first, okay? Because I asked the Oracle first
Yeah.
a minute ago. Do you think Donald Trump has killed the 4-year cycle? That's the question, and it's a very quick question. But of course, you can
Yes.
answer it as long as you want. Do you think he's killed the cycle?
Yes, absolutely. We can implement also the meme topic here. we can talk about Trump, Melania. That's just absolutely destroy everything, especially Melania. It's in a couple of days minus 90%. Right now, minus 99%. Just absolute scam. And Donald Trump, who was the guy who supports crypto, who do everything for crypto. But I checked, like, for quite a long time, people say like he actually doesn't do much. He just kind of scam people, and that's it. He doesn't do much things for crypto. I mean, he definitely did something right, but not that much. And I've seen people. Have you seen this meme with Biden? And just some like miss me guys.
Yeah, I think I have. Occasionally.
Yeah. I don't miss him. I don't miss Gary Gensler, and I don't miss Joe Biden at all. No,
But the meme is
never-
funny.
It is, and to be fair, I think the thing is people have got very myopic. They're very myopic, very short term when they come to crypto, and forget crypto is only 14, 16 years old. And really, we've only really had maybe 2 or 3 years of adoption, if you know what I mean. And if you look at, tech stocks, Facebook, why would you buy Facebook stock? Why would you buy Tesla stock? Why would you buy Amazon stock? And people were saying things about those stocks 10, 15 years ago. And I think we're not even at the stage yet of people saying, why would you buy Solana? Why would you buy Ethereum? We're not even got there because people don't know about it. So I think we're very, very early. And I think I'll get onto my I've got a conspiracy theory, which I'm going to tell you about after you've both talked about this topic. So I'll let you or the Oracle carry on before I get to my conspiracy theory.
You or the Oracle? Is it me now? Is it?
Anybody. Yikes, or you can carry on. I mean,
Yikes. Do you have anything? Do you want to say any more about it? Or?
About Trump?
Yeah, about the 4-year cycle or anything of the sort.
Better you say something, and then we can continue.
Sure.
Take
All right.
from you.
So I also agree. Yeah. I do think. I think it's more so. I don't think it was out of a malicious. I mean, it could be malicious intent, but I don't think it was a direct. You pressed the button in his big old white office and went, "Yeah, let's ruin the market." But I definitely think he's been a bad player. I mean, I think if you bought Melania, you're not a very smart person to begin with, and you probably shouldn't have. A license. You probably shouldn't be able to drink. You should probably have an assisted banking system if you bought Melania and were really long on Melania. Because what's the actual point of buying Melania? It was a stupid coin. And do you know what? Maybe he's preying on the idiots or preying on the weak, whatever. But I think fundamentally, now I'm not joking here. I think again the ETFs is a topic I've brought up quite often. I definitely think the systematic the balance between the volume in ETFs versus retail and non-ETFs basically. It's obviously a lot different than it was last cycle, aka completely different. And I think that's definitely affected the rhythm of the market. I would definitely understand that because of the single fire big effects which ETFs can have at any given moment if they decide to. And I think I said this earlier on. I said the phrase earlier on. I was going to use it in this topic of the amount of singular eventful buying or selling scenarios. Obviously, in this case, pretty much selling. But obviously, there are buying. But in terms of the consistency we've had with Trump in power and the events which have occurred, whether it be of his effect or else, which have caused these things to happen. Again, we saw with I believe it was the Friday, Monday time where we dumped from, I can't remember what price it was, but we dumped like how I don't know what percent it was. We had that massive dump all the way down for every coin, and a lot of people lost a lot of money, and some people passed away unfortunately from that scenario. So it clearly you've not really seen this before. We've not really seen that sort of effect be played out during a holding of someone being in office and doing something. So clearly, I think he has a very big hand in when it comes to what the price of things are doing, whether that just be because of his actions. I definitely think he has played an effect in how we have moved. I definitely think so. But I think more so it's on a fundamental basis. I think ETFs and externalized institutional powers entering into crypto markets has really been the main play for me when it comes to a rhythmic market rather than just a random pump or dump from Trump.
Okay, a quick question for you, Yikes. We used to have something called the Musk effect, the Elon Musk effect, and that was basically every time Elon Musk tweeted about crypto, price was absolutely skyrocketing. And after about the 20th or 30th time that he mentioned crypto, it had no effect. Do you think the market is going to get to a point very soon where the Trump effect simply has no effect at all on the market?
Trump as a person, I don't think he talked much about crypto. It's more important what's going on in the US, all this news. They definitely will affect the crypto, like 100%. But Trump personally, not sure about that. I think people don't really trust the Trump family in general, because Trump not talking much about crypto, but Baron Trump and what's the name of the second son?
Donald Trump Jr.
Something like that.
Yeah,
Eric
Trump.
Yeah, they all are.
I don't think that they will do. I mean, they'll be that important in the space, have that much influence. But about Melania, I just want to say something. What's the most important for the meme coins? Meme coins is all about the hype, about the people behind them, those who support them. They have nothing in general, only hype. And I think those who invested in Melania from the beginning, they just want to get quick money. Because, I mean, who's behind this token? Melania. So Trump will support it. A lot of influencers. And that's what people believe in. That's, I think, in the meme coins, it was one of the best. Yeah, but it showed worst results, very bad result. But, I mean, it was better than most of meme coins.
Yeah. I mean, I think we had 3 meme coins in the space of a month. We had 4 actually. We had Melania, we had Trump, we had the Central African Republic coin, the car coin, which nobody talks about anymore, and then we had Libra, which was the coin of Argentina, or Milei mentioned it. And all 4 of those coins happened within a space of about 4 or 6 weeks, and every single one of them was a rug. And Libra rugged while I slept. It launched and rugged in a period of about 6 to 8 hours. That's how fast it rugged. But Melania and Trump, I mean, I don't know whether the stories are true about them doing insider trading with people at his party to win them a few £100,000. I mean, that could be true. And I know the charts are absolutely horrific.
I mean, the Melania one just didn't. It started spent a day and didn't stop going down. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Like traditional pump on token. I mean, if it survived a couple of hours, it's great.
Yeah.
It's absolutely boiling.
Jesus,
I think it was really bad. Now can I tell you my conspiracy theory?
Go on.
Sure.
So the first thing that the Americans have done is not focus on Bitcoin. They've focused on stable coins, and they're bringing out the Genius Act. And the Genius Act basically regulates stable coins in America for two reasons. One, to protect American banks, because if they offer 4 or 5% interest, there'll be a bank run in America and the banks will collapse. So you're not allowed to earn interest on Tether or Circle, for example. And because they are regulated, they have to hold American debt. And the more they hold American debt, and the more that the dollar becomes people talk about the reserve currency as if it's the 1920s. And the reserve currency at the minute is the dollar, but it's losing strength. Now, nobody's talking about the fact that the dollar is the Web3 reserve currency. It's going to be unchallenged for the next several years as the number one global reserve currency of Web3, because Europe are basically trying to tie themselves in knots. The UK don't know what they're doing. Anyway, the point of the matter is, if crypto does 10 or 20x in the next 5 or 6 years, you'll be looking at 3, 4, 5, 6, $10 trillion worth of stable coins in Web3. And all of that will be backed by American debt. And we're looking at this $32 trillion number as if it's just going to keep exploding. But everyone's talking about America buying Bitcoin to counteract the American debt and use it like gold. But what if Trump is just wrapping all of the American debt up in stable coins and letting every human being on the planet own American debt? That's my conspiracy theory.
So offshore or offset the system and decentralize it between individuals in America.
Yeah, if 100 million people own American debt, is it ever going to be called on by an individual? No, it's not. So he's taking American debt and spreading it across the world. And also, one thing that most of the viewers don't know is China has been selling American debt now for about 4 or 5 years and buying gold. So China is actually extracting itself from the American monetary system by selling off the, is it 10-year bonds or something like that they're selling off, and they're reducing their balance sheet. So they're selling off the debt, which is pushing the American dollar interest rate up, or the debt interest rate. Now, Trump's just going to look for a way out, which is why we've not heard about the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve, because all he cares about is getting American debt outsourced to Yikes, wherever Yikes lives, us, wherever we live, Tariq, wherever he lives. If everybody owns $100 or $1,000 of USDT or USDC, you are all holding American debt on behalf of the American government. And I think that is his goal. And he set up World Liberty Financial with his sons. And what's the first thing they did when they set that company up was to create USD1, which will earn which will earn them 4 or 5%. They run with this USD1 for the next 3 or 4 years, get it to a 10, 20, $30 billion market cap. And that's making them $1 billion a year. So I think that is Trump's goal. And I don't think it's Bitcoin. So that's my conspiracy theory.
I can see that.
I hope you like that.
What I liked about that was I completely forgot about the idea that it was a conspiracy theory, because you started talking and it didn't feel like you were telling a conspiracy theory the entire time. So that is a good sign that it felt like a contiguous story. So that was good. Yeah, I could see it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, completely makes sense.
The reason that BUSD is dead, Villain Bear, is the American government shut it down. It had nothing to do with Binance. That it was forced to be closed down, and in its place came PayPal. PayPal basically took over the role of Binance. So that wasn't anything to do with the stablecoin failing. That was to do with the American government shutting it down and forcing Paxos, whoever it was, to get rid of it. Anyway, I don't know how far into the stream we are. Do we want to add anything else? Because the next point we've got now is Oracle's Bitcoin predictions. Is there anything you want to say before we get to that, Yikes?
Before we get to that, I want to check the 1 week performance of Aster and Hyperliquid,
Okay.
if it's
Yeah,
possible.
I'll bring it up.
This is where I can put my feet up now.
I can see that's all time. I can do
1 week.
Is it not like a thing I can put on a filter where I can see weekly all time? Is it not,
Or you
not
can
that
just get back on the main page and just scroll
Just find
till
it,
you
I
find
guess.
Aster to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know whereabouts it? Yeah, what list it is? I don't think I've looked really
Okay,
looked at
okay,
mushrooms.
up.
Oh, there it is. Right. Okay. There we go.
Yeah, 7% in a week. I mean, it's the one token that show we can see it's green. Look around.
Yeah.
Like
Well, syrup as
everything's
well. What I
red.
will say, syrup as well is going upwards.
And what about Hyperliquid? I think it's higher.
There it is.
Yeah, -5%.
Yeah, down.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, most things are down. I was saying to my stream actually, because I talk about Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Syrup, and Crow, and the only coin I've been wanting to go upwards in this current market has been Syrup. And the only coin, as of what I've looked at, which is going up in this market, is Syrup. I haven't looked at Aster, I will say that, and yes, obviously, it is going up. Some things do go upwards, are going upwards, but yeah, I mean, there's very few which are really actually going upwards in this current moment. So again, it's obviously impressive. Yeah.
Yeah, because on the last stream, just Jana keep pushing me on Aster. People in chat keep pushing me, just buy Aster.
I like the
Like,
amount of
okay.
supply there is there. Maybe I don't know the tokenomics enough. Anyways, enough of that.
Yeah, this is it.
yeah.
No more questions.
Okay.
No more requests.
Sure, yeah. I mean, what I can do, obviously, I'm gonna look at Bitcoin now. I can bring it upwards. So I'm gonna look very fundamentally at this. I'm not gonna go into deep time frames. Look at this. Obviously, I know we said earlier on the stream, like I can look at another chart. I haven't looked at Aster on stream. I can do it live if we wanted to. I can do it off screen while we talk about the next subject, maybe. And then I can look at it at the end of the stream and have a quick glance at it if we want to do that. Is that something more I do?
Yeah. No, listen, I'm just waiting for objects in my room to start floating around my head because you're going to do your ET
Don't worry.
thing now and make
I'll be
everything
quick.
float in the
I
room.
promise. I know I take ages to do this. I'll be quick. There's only few key points. So I'm really looking at this phrase of the market. I know I'm on not into any affiliation with any exchange here, but I'm not on the Binance exchange for the chart. So there obviously is different data, but I'm mainly just looking at the main data we have. Okay, I know, boo. I just want a fresh chart. Okay. So mainly looking at this move, okay, we've been in a move upwards, starting from this kind of reversal here, from around about the start of 2023, in this kind of phrase here, coming upwards. So we've had three main sectors of movement. We've had this area, start of 2024, this area, end of 2024, obviously coming to 2025 here, and then about April 2025 till now, okay? And each one has followed the same kind of rhythm, the same kind of movement. So the idea that we in an uptrend, what do we want to do in an uptrend? Okay, I'm going to draw it out. So you ever looked at a chart and you look up, how do I look at charts? And then you see the first screenshot, you see a bull trend and a bear trend, right? So what are those moves? Those are these, right? This is a bull trend, right? You see these higher highs and higher lows. So all this really is adding adding reasoning to that movement, because you're either consolidating, you're going upwards, you're going downwards. There's only really three things you can do in the market. So in this case, obviously we're going upwards, very easy to look at. Going upwards and going downwards are very easy to look at. Consolidating a bit harder, you kind of have to wait. I mean, you're mostly either going up or going down. So obviously we can see very clearly on the weekly, we are going upwards. So what can we look at here? We can bank on the fact, not on the reversal of the new high, but on the idea that we can see previous price action and look for that reversal on the higher low. So each one of these moves is looking, and again, like I said, in terms of my predicted high, I can look at, standard deviation. I can look at different things I've looked at previously for a new high, but it's a lot easier to try and find a fundamental low than it is to find a fundamental high in all-time highs and in uptrends. Anyway, so we can see all these three moves. I'm going to look at the first one, okay? Just to kind of give the idea that it's pretty kind of circular. I can never say the right word. So obviously, again, low to a high, fine, great. And then we have a retracement, right, for a higher low. So the idea is you want to come somewhere below an equilibrium, Okay, that's just kind of the idea. Obviously, you can agree with it, disagree with it, whatever. And then there's obviously deeper areas you can aim for, but at least somewhere below 0.5. And then what you want to do is find a valid area to stop at. So there's different areas. I'm not going to go into it because, you know, it'll take me forever to talk about each thing, and I don't want to go into too much detail. But it's there. For example, each one of these lines, there's a reason to stop here. So there's these certain areas with these massive candles which have these little gaps in. For example, these are, you know, quote unquote areas you can aim for. So just really solidifying the idea that we have this kind of cycle, right? Where we have these lows to these highs, and then we retrace one more time in this range to find that low before we expand upwards to do a new range. So each one of these moves, we have the high, we come below that equilibrium, we find our area to stop at. So obviously, for example, in this case, we had this support here, we had these down close into this gap and then move upwards. This is going to be a support area at that red line. And you can see we hit that red line pretty perfectly. And we had this gap as well. So this is a good confluence here for a support point, long-term support, and then obviously we moved upwards. And then you do the same thing here. You draw from the low to the high, and then we find a new low. Anywhere below equilibrium, we have a really strong area here. We don't really have much below us. We found a support, and then we moved upwards. Okay, and this was obviously the last cycle. We had a very similar, kind of a similar scenario where we had an all-time high. We then moved past that all-time high and didn't print, and then we started to kind of move downwards. We kind of had it here. We did find some support in this previous move here, but the same idea where we come past the all-time high, don't print past it, and we start to dump. Okay, so again, the two times I've just talked about this exact same thing. We have that low to the high. We then come down to have that higher low, and then we move up again. Okay, so now we can look at what we're doing right now. So what do we have right now? We have that low from previous time in April, all the way up to all these consecutive highs, whatever. And then we have the move down. Okay, so again, anywhere below 0.5 is somewhere roughly you want to be looking for. So again, this was the least confident low point I had for Bitcoin was 98.3. I really didn't think it was going to be a low. I was just saying on stream, your minimum low I could expect would be 98. But my area I've been talking about, and obviously people who watch my streams can attest to it, it's been this area down here. Okay, so we do have 88.7. We have these two black candles which come into this gap and then print above it. This will be a support point roughly about here, maybe coming into this kind of wick here. And then we have this massive gap. Okay, so this has been the high density area I've really been talking about on my streams for a long period now. And we're getting there. We're not there yet. We're getting there. So again, the minimum it wasn't 91 actually. It was about 92.5. Okay. I think we'll come deeper than that. I think it's realistically going to be 80, 89, 88. Okay. I really realistically think it's going to be there. So I mean, it's not out of the books. We can't go to 92 and come upwards, but and go to 92 and maybe have a bit of recovery and then come down again. Because in a fundamental down move, we don't want to just keep on going downwards. We want to have these lows and these highs and this move down, right? But fundamentally, it's going to be that 88.7 area. So this is kind of, again, I know we've already talked about earlier where we think as a whole 88k-ish. So this is kind of just my reasoning as to why I think we're going to be doing this move and why I've been wanting this move. Again, I did want this move back here, and you know, there's memes out there where you know, you'll be at this point in the chart and you'll think, oh, it's going to go down, and then we do this, and then it gets past that point and you go, and then you get to here and you go, see, I told you so. And it's like, yeah, well, we did all this. All right, so I am aware of that fact. I am self-conscious of that idea. So I was calling for this move here, and we did do a new all-time high. Okay, but that's not the point. The point is the low we're going to get to. And the low we're going to get to was going to be this area, and it's the area I've been talking about for a long time now. So that's kind of what I think. And again, from there, the high point at least is going to be past 126k. Again, that's expected. You know, that's a nothing burger of a statement because every all-time high is past the previous high. In terms of a fundamental high, I don't have it drawn out. I can look at it, but I don't have it drawn out. I can look, maybe if we talk about the next topic or whatever, in the background, I can draw some all-time highs and I can do some Asta charts, but that is it. I've tried to not be too long.
Perfect. So what we're saying is, we're saying 88 to 90,000 is the bottom.
Yeah, roughly. Yeah. In this area down here. About 88.5.
Yeah, there's a CME gap at 91,000 and something as well, and we have been known to fill CME gaps and move up, but that's pretty close to where we're talking about anyway. So 88, 90, 91,000, it's all within, you know, what is it, a couple of percent of each other, 2% of each other. So I think that's the area we're going to go. But I don't know what you think, Yikes, but I feel like we've done the majority of this move down. What do you think? Do you think we've got further to go?
I still think that we can see 88,000.
Yeah.
88 is the point where I'll
Yeah.
buy, just keep buying. 88, 89, like less than 90k, I'll start.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, again, it depends. If you're doing spot, you might as well
Yeah.
just start at
Yeah.
like going into the area 90k, 90, 91, 89, whatever it's going to be. You might as well just start. So yeah, I completely agree.
Yeah, I'm waiting. I'm just
Exactly.
waiting for
Right. Well, if you're
Yeah.
going to draw the Asta,
Yeah,
I was going to say was what we'll do now then is we've got 5 or 6 minutes left, or 10 minutes left if we're going to overrun. So while you're doing your Asta chart in the background, we are now on to the alpha part of the show, where we tell you, not financial advice, of course, the 3 coins other than Bitcoin that we will hold between now and the end of this bull run. And because the Oracle is doing his Asta chart, I think we should start with Yikes. I think Yikes should be the one who gives us his 3 picks that if we're at the bottom or near the bottom and we're going to move up from here, which 3 coins does he think are going to be some of the coins that are going to be the top performers from here on out? So, Yikes, do you have your 3 coins?
Yes. The first one will be BNB. Second, Aster. And third, for some reason, I wanna pick Injective. I wanna buy more Injective. Right now, it's a very sweet price.
Ooh. Yeah.
And I think Injective could show us something very, very good. We can see Injective again at least $20, $25.
Okay.
Very, very quick.
And so you've got BNB, which is obviously already put in, I think, was it $1,300? So that's at least got another 30% up from where we are now. So that's not a bad shout. I mean, they're good picks. I think the thing is with picks, you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. You either go for the big alts, which aren't going to give you a massive return, or you look at the ones in the pack like Injective, who can have, you were saying before about, a 2 or a 3x and things like that. And I think if you pick a couple of coins from the pack, that the top 50 coins, top 75 coins, then there's a good chance that you could see 150% moves in some of these coins. In my opinion, of course, not financial advice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'll tell you why I pick like this. There's also risks. For example, on BNB, there's very low risk. It's not gonna dump very hard. It's not gonna happen. But also, I mean, it can show like 20-30% profit. It's pretty good. Yeah, it's safe option. Aster, it's like medium risk, let's say like this. EcoPump, you've seen when CZ tweet about Aster, it showed 30% in just like 15 minutes. It's crazy. It could go up. It's pretty new token, I would say. We don't know what to expect from Aster. And Injective is kind of risky right now. It's going down kind of hard, but still have potential to get back to $20. $20, it was like the average price for a very long time.
Yeah,
I still believe in this. So there's a like low risk, medium, and high risk.
Yeah, no, they're very, very good, very good picks. Oracle, can you check the super chat? We have a question about AVAX. If you want to have a look at that while I talk to you.
Stuck in AVAX long at 17. It's a small tip for Hopium. Yeah, I mean, I could try and look. I haven't actually looked at AVAX on my stream either. What I can do though is have you given Mike? Have you given your predictions?
No, I was going to ask Yikes about his predictions before I got onto mine. Right. I was trying to give you some time.
Yeah, because I'm pretty much done with the Aster. I can quickly glance at AVAX. Obviously,
have a look at AVAX,
and then I can
AVAX.
Yeah, all right.
And I'll speak to Yikes. Okay, right. So Yikes, I have also picked Aster. That's one of my picks.
That's very good.
And I'll give you my reasoning. I'll give you my reason. It's my number 2 pick. And the reason is not to do with CZ, by the way. One of the things we talk about is everybody thinks that this is a horse race, and everybody thinks that they have to pick the winning horse. So when you look at Hyperliquid and Hype, and you look at Aster, people are trying to pick sides, and that's not how crypto is going to pan out. There is not going to be one blockchain, one project, one NFT project, one DeFi project that works and is the only one that works. There's always going to be multiple winners. If you look at the banking system, there's 3,000, 4,000 banks around the world. Well, we're nowhere near that in Web3. So for me, Aster and Hyperliquid are two very good picks because they've got the hype, and yes, they've got CZ in Aster's case, and Hyperliquid has really good tokenomics now. I wasn't a fan of it when it launched, but now it's got really good tokenomics. It's got a really good flywheel. But the problem with Hyperliquid is it's so high. It's already at $40. At $100 and $150 for me for Hyperliquid, it's a top 6 coin, and I don't think it's quite there. Aster has a lot left to reach where I think its maximum is going to be. So yes, it's got CZ, but yes, it's also got a really good percentage of the market. And I think over time, you're going to see the likes of Binance and Aster or Hype and somebody else. You're going to see a merger of different DeFi and centralized exchanges. You're going to see a merger of them coming together because Binance wants to expand, Aster wants to expand. There's no reason why they can't work together in the future. There's no reason why Hype can't work with another centralized exchange. So Aster's my number 2 pick. So I'm on your side. Now, my number 1 pick, which just beats Aster, is a safe bet, and that is Chainlink. And Chainlink is the number 1 oracle. It's connected up to everybody. Sergey Nazarov over there, he's going to go down as one of the... He's going to have a statue built of him in the future. He is one of the founding fathers of modern Web3. And Chainlink's the biggest oracle, onboarding, offboarding, MasterCard, Visa, you name it. They're connected, whether it's the data feeds for prices, everything. So number 1 for me is Chainlink, number 2 is Aster, and number 3, which is my outside bet, is World Liberty Financial, which is the project owned by Trump's family. If you've got the President of America on your side for the next 3 years, and you are building your own stablecoin empire, and you're building your own project, that project will not fail. So that's my number 3 pick. So I've got Chainlink, Aster, and World Liberty Financial. They're my 3.
Okay.
A very interesting pick. Especially the last one, World Liberty Finance.
Listen, it's going to fail or it's going to be a massive hit. One of the two.
Most coins normally do that. Yeah, they either fail or they go up. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Right. Do you want to answer the super chat, or do you want to give us your 3 predictions?
I can give the predictions and then I can quickly look at the charts. So my coins was obviously the key point here. You said don't include Bitcoin. Okay, so I had to substitute one of the coins. So it was Ethereum and Solana. Okay, because you know what I mean. You might as well be safe. It depends. Okay, this is buy and hold, by the way. So Ethereum and Solana again. The fundamentally, they've got things going on already, especially obviously with Solana. And I think at these prices, you might as well. So obviously I couldn't do Bitcoin here, so I had to do something else. So I said syrup. Now, obviously, you might not be able to get as cheap as 28 cent as we looked at, on stream, but it is still a strong coin. I think it could still succeed past 65 cent or 68 cent, whatever the all-time high was. So I think syrup is a good price. I think the product itself is fundamentally brilliant. I think obviously you should aim for products which have fundamental brilliance to them. So syrup is my 3rd one.
Fantastic. Absolutely. I think between those 9, well, they're not really 9 coins because I've picked 8 coins between us. I think a portfolio of those 8 coins would do quite well in this bull run, or the rest of this bull run, especially BNB, Aster, Solana obviously is going to do well. Those coins. I think that would be a good portfolio. Right then, I'm going to stop talking. What you're going to look at now, is this AVAX?
Aster. Or do you want me to do AVAX? I can do AVAX first if you
Aster.
want. Okay, Aster first.
I just do AVAX. So
okay, AVAX. Okay, Aster. Okay, AVAX or Aster. Okay, which one do you want me to do?
I think have AVAX first.
AVAX first. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, which
so
chart?
You answer his question.
I can't remember which chart I did it on. There we go. Okay. So this is obviously, I'm on the weekly here just to look at a high time frame here in the daily. So this answer will be either good or bad, depending on where your liquidation point is, because I think it's going to go down a tiny bit more. So if your liquidation is lower than 1469-ish, I'm sorry. But if it's not, you still have hope. So I'm going to look on the weekly here just to kind of give a bit of a story to this. So we had these moves. Actually, I should probably bring this up to here, to be fair. And there's there. We had these moves. Okay, we've had our move. We had that move upwards, move down. We've had our little down move here. Looking at the ranges on each way down, obviously coming above equilibrium, finding an area. We had this little gap here, filling and then coming downwards, forming a new area here, printing past this low, okay? And now I can talk about this area. So we had, again, same range, same idea. We had a very minimum high here, which could be a good thing. It could be, it's a bad thing. It's a good thing if you want it to go downwards. It could be a good thing if you want it to reverse and go upwards, because again, the lower the lower high is, the easier it is to get past it in terms of the range you have and the price action you have to get through in order to do a new high. So again, it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. So we can see we minimally got past 35.22. We had an order block here with this candle upwards and then this candle downwards. So during the open of this, we can see we hit that quite nicely with the $36 area here, roughly. So a good high there coming downwards. So again, the minimum you have to do in terms of for a high to a low is going to be printing past that low. Now, I know we had this low, but this is something I'm looking at now and I'm ignoring it, okay? So it is this low, the previous low, from the high to the low here, coming upwards. You want to print past that previous low, about 1466, like I said, or roughly like I said. So printing past that, which again, if you really look at any other time frame, I mean, I think we're going to easily do that. So somewhere in this range would be nice to see a low out. Again, the range we saw a differential in terms of our low wasn't that hard, wasn't that far, and I think for me personally, we have this gap here on the weekly, which we could see some support into as well, which would be nice to find a lower low in. Okay, so this could be into coming into about 12-ish, 12.8. This is a worst case scenario is going to be about 12.67 if this is respected. Obviously, this is not financial advice. I think dependent on where that low is, it doesn't really matter because this range is in play still. So what do we have is we have two things. So we have this. We have kind of this move here with this kind of big old close here. We actually also have this low, which I have and actually haven't marked out. I should probably mark it out. I'll make it a different color. Let's make it purple. Why not? So we have this range. Okay, this is the main important thing. It's on the weekly time frame. So it is coming above at least about 24.4. So this again, the ranges we've had on the high to a low has been pretty good. And again, think about what the market's doing as a whole. We're going down. Okay, we're going down across the board. So in terms of what we have for AVAX, how far does this move? Another bit. I mean, obviously that's worst case scenario. Let's say it's midpoint, 10%. Look at what Bitcoin, look at what everything else is doing. We do have big moves on the way downwards. Okay, so this relatively low at about $12 could kind of conceivably be in the range of what everything's doing as a whole in terms of coming down to its minimum prices. So in terms of to continue the down move, quote unquote, it would be finding a low in this area. Okay, so regardless of how that low is the equilibrium is going to be about $24.5. So that range is really going to be a good area to find resistance at. So obviously, if you're in a long, you're going to want to be looking to find that go upwards past $17. So I could definitely see some form of resistance coming into about $26, $27 for AVAX into this range here. Obviously, if we go to the daily, it is quite a big range here coming up towards, like I said, $26. So again, I don't think it's going to go up right now. So liquidation's at 75 cents. Well, I think you're pretty safe then, in my opinion. Not financial advice.
I don't know if he means 75 cents or 14.75. I don't know what he means. Because if his liquidation point is 75 cents, then we're never going to get anywhere near it, are we?
Yeah, I mean, if it's 75 cents, I think you're good. I think. If it's not 75 cents, then it depends on where it is. So again, it depends if you want to hold it. Do you look at this and go, I can take it as a loss, wait for it to go down a tiny bit more, and then long again type of thing, in some regards. So it all just depends on where that realistically is. But I definitely think it can go upwards again. But I don't think, I mean, if you look fundamentally again on the weekly, we are moving downwards. But yeah, I mean, actually what I do want to mention is the fact that we are in this move. Actually, no, we'll we've come past these highs. We have this move upwards. we have this big retracement towards back here. So we could fundamentally see a bit of a long-term move up for AVAX as well. But I'm just talking about short-term here. Or short-term.
75 cents is his liquidation price. I think he's safe.
Okay, so I think he's fine. But and I just remembered I need to look
so.
Asta. I completely forgot.
Right, do you want to do Asta very quickly because we are.
He's lagging. Okay, 75 cents. Yeah, I think you should be good at 75 cents. I don't think it's gonna get anywhere near 75 cents. So I think you should be good. A bit of lag. I'm gonna assume he said, "Do you want to look at it, Asta?" As I think he did say. So I'm on this exchange not because of any affiliation, but because it had the most data. So this is a pretty good thing. This is a good chart here. Looking at again, this has been a pretty nice rip upwards, to put it lightly. Just looking fundamentally at the move we've had so far, we've had this support be formed, coming upwards. This obviously this form resistance. So basically, what happened here is we had this high here. We came past it, didn't print. Again, not a very good sign if you want to be on a uptrend. Not printing past new highs. Failed that and then printed through this. This is a very fundamental thing when it comes to resistances, quote unquote. So forming that and then obviously seeing where that midpoint is, we found resistance in this area and then continued downwards. So a good, makes sense there. Perfect. Obviously, we did find support here just on a minimum where we came to that midpoint here pretty nicely. So pretty minimum supports here, obviously coming past low. So clearly in a downtrend so far right now. Respecting resistances on the way downwards pretty good. Continuing downwards from this move again, anything below equilibrium, so $1.25 for in this case, we had this massive area here just about below equilibrium, so again a good target. You can see we've basically fulfilled this entire area here. Importantly as well, what I want to mark out is this individual or this kind of part of the move right now for Asta. This is the daily, by the way, I should mention. We had a scenario where we've had this move downwards, again, continuously, still technically printing past lows here, but we've had this big old print here where we've printed past that high in our previous high on this move downwards, and then we've wicked past this low, we haven't printed. So this is obviously not very good news if you want it to continue to go downwards. This is potentially good news if you want to expect for a reversal. Also, bearing in mind the context of where we are in Asta, coming from $2.43 all the way down to, sub $1. This is a pretty fundamental support point. So as long as Asta's not going to, just disappear out of nowhere, all things being equal, it is a consistent coin which stays, then this should be what happens. So basically, we formed resistance here with this move, took this high, printed through it. You can see we've had a bit of difficulty right now. Apart from this area here, we've not really been able to break this midpoint. We've not really been able to get above here. You can see this candle was starting to potentially print upwards. So what I want to see faster, we're not fully out the woodworks. What I want to see is coming upwards towards, $1.20, $1.22, printing above this midpoint and using this as a support point and reversing this and using it as support. The big key factor for Asta would be coming up and printing past $1.28. So if you really want to be safe, I'm not saying this is financial advice at all, but if you really want to be safe on it going back upwards again, assuming it follows this trend, would be for me is printing past $1.28. If you see it printing past $1.28, I would expect a bit of retracement after that, finding a trade in towards $1.15, let's say, not financial advice, and then running it upwards potentially. But I think this is a positive. I think we're in a positive scenario right now for Asta. I think we could potentially see, we've potentially seen the low of what could be the start of the up move right now for Asta, as so long as we get out of what we're in right now towards about $1.20. But I'm majoritively positive right now for Asta, all things considered. So yeah, I think it's going pretty well.
I think so too.
So there you go.
Does that look good, Yikes?
Looking good. I just want to ask, what do you think about limit orders from $1.10 to 80 cents?
Yeah, I mean, if it goes, yeah, absolutely. If it goes any lower, you could do. I think for me, it's printing out this. So we've seen this kind of this sort of fight. We've seen this on Ethereum. I've been looking quite often at this on Ethereum because we've had this same kind of quote unquote formation, and there's a name to it. I'm not going to go into it. This sort of scenario here, where we've seen it be used both as support and resistance, and the criteria kind of is realistically printing quite a bit outside of it. Okay, so if we were to get upwards, and I think this is the thing, I think we can do this on the basis that we've printed past this high, not printed past 8 to form a new low, and we've started to kind of go upwards now. We could see a move upwards. We kind of saw a very similar scenario with this in Bitcoin, where we kind of formed this head and shoulders, and I think people were quite negative, and we just continue to go upwards and then reverse a bit. Obviously, we're negative on as a whole for Bitcoin, but I do think this can go upwards. So what I would say is, if we can print outside of this and then go downwards, what I would do is, if it can go a bit more upwards, I would then maybe place limit orders, because we could have a retracement back into the area once we've found this as support, and then go upwards. But I think it depends on if you're doing a high leverage trade, or if you're like buying it low leverage, or you're doing spot. Now in this area, it could be a good area to buy. All things considered, if this continues to do what it's doing, which I think it can do, this could be a good area to either buy spot or buy a low or trade a low leverage. Obviously not financial advice. So yeah, I mean, I could definitely, I think if it came towards 80 cent, as long as it's actually came past this as support, it could be a good area. I don't know if we would get towards 80 cent for a limit order, but I definitely think the $1.10 area in this midpoint could definitely be a good area for limit.
Absolutely. Now then, that's technically an hour and 15 minutes. So is there any questions from your stream, Yikes, or anything that you want to cover from your end?
No, I think we're good. Everything pretty clear.
We have one question then, which was asked a long time ago by Danny. Danny has said, as Bitcoin hovers around 96,000 amid the brutal market dip and the Fed jitters rattling the space, what's your outlook on institutional inflows into ETFs and stablecoins? Growth will propel us past 150,000 by mid 2026. So basically, are we going to be heading towards 150,000 by the middle of next year? I don't know who wants to answer that question.
I don't mind. Yikes, do you have an answer for that, or?
No, I'll leave it for you.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I think again, like I said, I actually need to do that. I'll probably do it after the stream. I don't know why I haven't actually tried to find my high target as a prediction. But again, I know we talked a bit about 140k. There's a lot of people with a lot of different prices. I know some people think $1 million. I don't. Let's temper our expectations a bit. But I think, yeah, towards 150k, yeah, absolutely. Whether it be because of institutional inflow, XYZ, ETF. Again, we're seeing a lot of buying now, and we're still going down. So what's really in play in terms of how much institutional flow there really is? But in terms of just fundamentally moving towards 150k, I could see it. I mean, I think for an all-time high, we're going to at least have to get past 126k. So that's easily towards 130k. If you think about the last move we had, actually going to the Bitcoin. Okay, this is actually my chart. I don't want to show this. It's a mess. I don't want people to see this. No, I don't want to see that either. I think we should go to a clean chart. Okay. In terms of where we came past, this high, we came quite a bit past, it's like 17k. Obviously, this one as well was pretty big of a move, about 37. So it's like, let's say a 20k move, 146k towards about 150k. As a guess, that's just completely off an arbitrary value, about 20k. So that's what I've got. Roughly towards 146k. So 150k getting towards it. I don't know about past it. We'll have to see, but at least getting towards it, absolutely, for an all-time high. Yeah.
I think we'll tickle the nuts of 150,000 and come down again. Right. I think we'll get right up there, we'll have a little tickle, and then we'll come back down. Yeah, that's my prediction for Bitcoin. Have you got a Bitcoin target to finish the show, Yikes? Have you got a Bitcoin price target for the end of the bull run? What's your price?
The end of a bull run.
Yeah. So let's say it's June next year. What do you think Bitcoin will top out at?
Oh, I want to believe there'll be around 150, 160. I want to believe that. Yeah. I cannot explain why I choose this price, but it's just something I want to see.
Yeah.
No, I mean, any of us could be right. Any of us could be right. All of us could be wrong. We could all be right, all be wrong. Well, not all, I mean, technically, but it's a thing where, like, if we're doing all-time highs, it's either how do you look at an all-time high to find your prediction? You're either watching the price as it's going up and looking at how structurally sound we are in an uptrend, and if we start to reverse, that's the all-time high, but by then you've already hit the all-time high, so it doesn't matter. Or you're just predicting, and once you're predicting and using methods of prediction, anything goes, really. Like standard deviation, some people do PIB, XYZ, and moon phases, whatever. Maybe that helps for an all-time high price. So it's like, anything can go realistically when you're talking about doing an all-time high into prices you've never seen into before. You completely lose that slight chance of fundamentalism. You completely lose any sort of confidence in confluence. It's just guesswork. So yeah, it could be 106k, 150k, 140k. It could be anything in between. All I know, it's going to be at least past 126k. So, do you know what I mean? We could all be right.
Yeah, absolutely agree.
Absolutely.
And I would say this crypto related to news, what's going on in the world, and I believe we can easily break 200,000 if, for example, China legalized crypto, legalized Bitcoin. There will be peace in the world.
Yeah, I mean, I
Great
think
news,
if every person buys at the same time, and everyone's buying, whether it be institutional and retail as a whole, everyone's buying, I mean, everyone will buy until it stops. Everything goes up until it has reason to stop.
Exactly.
Everything goes down until it has reason to stop. So I mean, eventually we'll hit 200k. Yeah, I mean, in this run, maybe. Obviously, if everything goes all well, potentially. I mean, who knows? Realistically, who knows?
Elmo
I
shrug.
just believe in it.
Yeah, I mean, we can hope.
Absolutely. Right. We've overrun by 20 minutes. So, thank you, Yikes, for your coin predictions, your meme predictions, your market overview. Thank you, Oracle, for your charts, as always. The remote control and my phone were floating around my head while you were talking, which is always nice to see. And I hope everybody out there enjoyed this, especially the people on Binance and the people on YouTube. And if you're watching this on Catch Up, don't forget to follow Yikes on Binance. And don't forget to follow ourselves on Binance. And don't forget to follow us on YouTube as well. But thank you, everybody, for coming to watch this second episode of Market Vision. And maybe we should try and do this every 4 to 8 weeks.
When was the last one? If we go based on pattern, what is it going to be next year we see each other?
Was it June or July?
I don't remember. Are we going to see each other June, July next year? Maybe.
I'd say what we'll do.
I would definitely have a stream in, I would say, 3 weeks. Less than 3 weeks.
I want to do it again. I enjoy doing this. I think because I don't, especially on my streams, I don't really talk a lot fundamentally when it comes to Trump or anything.
I'll tell you more. It's going to be an offline stream. I mean, for us.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Again. Well, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
We will arrange another one. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys. Take care.